everybody. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. We've got two running backs who are hoping for plenty of running lanes on that field today. It's Jordan Howard's Bears going up against Rob Kelly's Redskins.
We are just inside the Beltway, about 10 miles east of the Capitol Dome as we come to you from FedEx Field here in Landover. A few minutes ago, it sounded like the 4th of July on the National Mall as the hometown Redskins were introduced to this sold-out crowd. They are set to go as their guys will match up with the Chicago Bears. First carry now for Jordan Howard. And a big collision there as he winds up flat on his back at the 32-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. For Jordan Howard, Charles, last year in 2017, not quite as good as the great rookie year he had in 2016.
And a big part of that,
he can't avoid the pressure. Redskins get there. Ryan Kerrigan not dropping into coverage. He comes on the blitz and takes him down for a loss of 9. Let's see what they draw up here. 3rd and long following the sack of Trubisky. Play action. It's Trubisky. Now he's going to let it go deep back over the middle. And that's caught inside the 35. And he takes it all the way down to the 32. A big play there for the Bears on 3rd. 45 yards. On 1st down, they run with Howard. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
He was hoping to get to the edge, but they did a really nice job of forcing him back inside. That's excellent fundamental defensive football. Don't let him outside where they can really shred your defense.
This is Howard on 2nd down. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
Another nice run there by Jordan Howard. And when we talk about fresh legs, how about 2016? Jordan Howard, the #2 rookie rusher. Heck, the #2 rusher in the NFL behind another rookie, Ezekiel Elliott.
In the first 3 weeks of the season, he only had 12 carries. So once week 4 hit, really found his groove. Flushed out right. And he's taken down, trying to do a little too much, getting outside of the pocket, and it results in a sack.
Well, this is something I may never understand. I don't get why a quarterback under duress who has a chance to get rid of the ball and save the yardage keeps it and runs out of bounds. Instead of an incomplete pass and no loss of yardage, it's a 3-yard loss.
Trubisky with a give to Howard. The ball comes out, and the Redskins scoop it. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. Didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
Now Thompson fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on 1st down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. Second down following the run. Again, a run with Thompson. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he's brought down after a good gain. That good for 22 and a 1st down.
Well, partner, I have to say they called him in the right defense there. Nickel set, 5th defensive back on the field. And they love to run against that because now you typically get a bigger blocker on a smaller defender.
Yeah, because those DBs like you, they want the interception. They're not as worried about the running play, right?
Not at all. And I still remember being in school, And one of my offensive line teammates used to say, boy, I'd love to come downfield and hit you little people.
Good run there. Now Cousins out to the left here to Reed. And he goes out of bounds. It looks like right at the 50. 7 yards the pickup on the pitch and catch.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
So they complete the pass, and now they face a second down. They run it here with Thompson. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. We'll give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
The first carry now for Rob Kelly. He'll wind up getting 4 down to the 36. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on second down.
Cousins now on second down. Oh, nearly picked. And maybe lucky there. This guy doesn't drop many defensively. Third down.
Used to have a coach just tell us all the time, those scouting reports aren't just to use up paper, guys. Well, nowadays, you know, we're watching a computer screen, right? They scouted this team very well. Know that they like to use the running backs in the passing game. They covered that play successfully.
Cousins. To him as he's taken down. Leonard Floyd in there to drop him for a 4-yard loss, and it'll be 4th down. So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. They'll spot it at the 47, so call it a 57-yard attempt. Play clock winding down. Back live, Charles Davis to my right. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Redskin football to begin quarter number 2. So on 4th down, the Redskins will call on Tress Way to punt it away. No return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Bears will take over at their own 20. Chicago's offense getting set to take over, and it's a crew, not only offensively but defensively, obviously, collectively. The 4 straight last-place finishes. That's what they're facing as they enter 2018. Now, if there's a silver lining, I guess, they did go from 3 wins to 5 wins last year.
Are you really exciting the fans on that one, aren't you?
I was reaching.
Look, they finished number 10 on defense.
And now look at him go. Past the 20. 10. Touchdown, Chicago. Jordan Howard, an 80-yard touchdown. And the Bears are able to show off their quick strike ability. And with that carry, he's already over 100 yards here in the first half.
And, partner, you know exactly what he's saying to his teammates right now, right? Especially to the play caller.
Give me the ball.
Again, and again, and again. It's not that heavy, sir. I'll take it.
That'll be taken in the end zone. So Washington coming out for their next drive on offense. We look back, Charles, in 2017, 7-9 for the Redskins, 3rd place in the NFCs, and missed the playoffs for the 4th time in the last 5 years.
Yeah, they've been just good enough to be in the hunt, but rarely have they gotten over the top. As you noted, missed the playoffs 4 out of the last 5 years. Offensively, in 2017, their offensive line was a mess. I mean, they were playing guys out of position, third-string guys up from the practice squad, just trying to find some type of continuity that just wasn't there. But flip it over to the defensive side of the ball. Dead last in the NFL in rush defense. I know we pitch it around like crazy in today's NFL, but you've got to stop the run first, and Washington really struggled.
Looking for his tight end read, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Prince Amukamara. And his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line. So the football switching hands here in just a second. And, you know, Tom Brady, just to go off on a tangent for a second, may have lost the Super Bowl, but third MVP this past season, and what he did at age 40, really something, right, Charles?
Absolutely phenomenal. Ended up beating out Todd Gurley, the running back for the Los Angeles Rams, but he would have traded it for a...
And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. Kendall Wright, 52 yards. And the Bears are able to show off their quick strike ability. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
I want to give a hat tip real quick, Charles, to J.J. Watt before the possession switches here. Walter Payton NFL Man of the Year, and they totaled up how much he helped raise for hurricane relief, $37 million.
Incredible. Hurricane Harvey, which really hit the Houston area in a big way, and his original goal was $200,000. So congratulations to J.J. Watt and all the people who participated. And Greg Olsen of the Panthers, Benjamin Watson of the Ravens, both tight ends, also nominated and finalists for the most prestigious award as determined by the NFL, the Walter Payton Man of the Year Award.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. On 3rd down, it's Thompson, and he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains. Cousins on 1st down. Josh Doxson's got it complete. 15 yards through the air and a 1st down. Crowder in motion here right. They'll run it now out of the gun. And some room to maneuver. Touchdown, Washington. Chris Thompson, 48 yards. And the Redskins are able to make this a close game again. They were already down 2 scores early. This is blocked. Now it's scooped up, and this is a live football. But he will not be able to bring this one back, and the extra point attempt unsuccessful.
I know it's easy to kind of shrug off a blocked extra point, but this game is shaping up to be a tight one. The second half, this could prove crucial.
Yeah, we might look back on this one. We'll have to wait and see. CD, I want to get your thoughts on some potential free agents this offseason before we change the possession here. Now, caution, many of these guys could be resigned, I know, but who are some of them? Kirk Cousins is one.
Yeah, we're talking about difference makers. Kirk Cousins at the quarterback position. He's going to be coveted around the league.
A big seam, and he might go all the way. 20, 10, and he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. Jordan Howard with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Bears are able to show off their quick strike ability. And it's up and good. Santos out now. He'll kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee. And they'll start at the 25. On 1st and 10, Cousins. He'll leave it for Kelly, complete. Give him 7 on the play, and it'll be a 2nd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
And he is going to lose yardage here. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down. From the gun, here's Cousins. And he fires one that's intercepted. Adrian Amos with a pick. And they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line. Well, before the possession switches here, I had written down that I wanted to talk about some of the awards this past season in the NFL. We know Brady was the MVP, but Todd Gurley, Offensive Player of the Year.
How about that for a bounce back? Many were questioning whether he'd had a sophomore slump the season before. Didn't even get to 1,000 yards. Was a dominant force in 2017. How about his teammate Aaron Donald on the defensive side? He took home Defensive Player of the Year award.
Yeah, very impressive. They had both sides of the ball. Sean McVay deserving, I think you would agree, of Coach of the Year.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, what he did for the Rams when they went from last in the league in scoring to leading the league in scoring and winning a division title. And how about the New Orleans Saints? Rookie of the Year, offense and defense. Alvin Kamara on offense, Marshawn Lattimore on defense.
And they'll get him down right about the 20. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Not a big run on the first play of the drive, but that doesn't necessarily mean it was a bad play. Sometimes you're just trying to settle in, get your guys a little bit of contact, and get things moving.
All right, here we go.
Again, it's Howard. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. And now we're going to get a timeout called by the Redskin defense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. From the gun on 3rd down, it's Trubisky. Steps away to his left. He can run for it, and he will. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Now, that's disappointing for the defense. They had the advantage, had excellent coverage all over the field, but they let him get away, scramble, and pick up a 1st down and inside the 5-yard line.
On 1st and goal, Howard. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Bears. Jordan Howard on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Bears will add on to their lead. Santos out now. He'll kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Before the offense changes hands here, let's look back at the Super Bowl February 5th. What a game. I mean, I know you were there calling it offensively, though. Impressive on both sides.
It certainly was, and let's face it, if you're in Minnesota, it's cold outside, but you talk about the offenses, they heated up in a big way. And how about Nick Foles? The backup quarterback turned MVP, 373 yards, 3 touchdowns, and, of course, the big one receiving on the Philly special.
Quite a story. As you and I were talking about off air, it was just a fluid game, not a lot of penalties, just really clean play.
exactly the type of game the NFL needed for the audiences at home watching the game and, of course, people in attendance. A really well-played game.
Cousins from the gun on third. And, oh, he's going to be hit and driven into the turf. Now the Bears electing to call a timeout defensively. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. This is away and a very good kick angled for the sidelines. Onto the field now come the Bears. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
They go with Howard to begin the drive. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground. From midfield now, here's Trubisky. They'll set up the screen to Howard. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. A good pickup there on first as the screen pass gets him 8.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. So the run gets them the first, and now they operate with a fresh set of downs.
Hurry up, here we go. Green, 39. Watch it now, Barney.
From the shotgun is Trubisky. Dancing to his left. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and it'll bring up a second down. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
Well, Larry, I know it's late there in Orlando. This is a school night. Folks eager to get right back to the action here in the third quarter. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. And here come the Redskins now. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there.
But
this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. A nice pickup there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level, because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
And for a third time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Jarrell Freeman. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops. First first possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
They go with Howard again. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. They'll run from the pistol with Howard. And he'll get about 4 as he's brought down at the 24.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here. On the toss play, Howard. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. It's a really nice 15-yard pickup, and now it's 1st and goal.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop him. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. So they're still at the original line of scrimmage here. 2nd down and 10. Here's the first carry for Tariq Cohen. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
On goal-to-goal runs, when you create lost yardage plays, the only way that happens is either called pressure or what I like to call straight-ahead pursuit. A great read, and they get to the backfield and make the play.
And that was a big chunk of yardage lost. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. 11 yards on the pickup, and that will bring up an interesting decision here on 4th and goal. And Santos able to put this one up and through. It's good, and their lead will swell up to 28. So put another 3 on the board, and all things considered, a good opening drive here to begin the 3rd quarter.
It sure was. I think as a head coach, you're happy to come out and put a little drive together, take the 3 points, and build on your lead.
A look at Washington as they come onto the field. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, wake up. Yeah. Let's get moving, guys.
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
I mean, you think you might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. So nothing there. I don't know that that's all in the back, though. You got to look at blocking there, don't you?
I would agree with that totally. At some point, they have to win at the point of attack. Instead, it was the defense getting it done again and holding them to no gain.
Eluding the pressure right. Now he's going to throw it deep to the other side of the field. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
We're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. This is taken at the 10. A big boot that time. 57 yards the official distance. And the Bears take over. And now the Bears coming out as they get ready. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points.
And look out. I think he's going to go. He's at the 30. 10. Touchdown, Chicago. Jordan Howard, 82 yards. And the Bears add on. And that rushing touchdown is 4th, puts him just 1 shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it, but he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. Out comes the Redskin offense now as they get set to begin another possession. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him. All right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. On the ground, it's Thompson. And I think he's going to go. They're not going to get him. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington. Chris Thompson, his 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Redskins are able to strike for 6. He just bumped up his personal stats with a 2nd score, but they still have some ground to make up.
Not terrific for today.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. And they hit the home run last drive. 1 play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description because when we talk about hitting the home run, we're usually thinking about a passing play, aren't we? Something in the air, deep ball, but how about them just taking it big-time jaunt. Now if you're coming back out, now they've established this run game, the play-action pass could very well be open.
And they'll get it all the way out near midfield to the 45. That burst good for 20 and a first down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
On first, they go right back to Howard. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd. Finally, defensively, they have a little clip to show positive for actually stopping him running the football.
It's been a really long night for them, hasn't it? So they got a little bit of a win there, but let's face it, the vision that he's had running the football has carried his feet to the open spaces and the big yardage all night long.
Give him 8 yards on the carry, and that's going to bring up 4th down. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. Out of bounds and close. The question, was it a touchback? No. They'll say it crossed out at the 2-yard line. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. And they're hoping to capture some of that magic they had last time out when they were able to put together a scoring drive. But they're still down here, Charles.
Not the major concern, though, because of what you talked about. They scored the last time out. They feel good about themselves. They feel like their game plan is now in effect. They know how to attack and what plays they want to put together. But they've got to keep it moving in the right direction because, as you did note, they are down on the scoreboard.
Big hold of the 30. Taking it right down Broadway. And he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown. Chris Thompson, 81 yards. And the Redskins are able to cut into that deficit.
Well, 3 scores in this game. I think that deserves some type of a broad gesture. I know in hockey, that's called a hat trick, and people throw their hats out on the ice. What about us? What can we do for this guy?
Well, if I'm his teammates, I'm buying him a little steak dinner tonight, right? At least a skirt steak, probably a filet.
Oh, you're going big. I like that.
Yeah, I mean, skirt at minimum, filet at maximum.
On. You can't give the guy a skirt steak. He scores 3 times.
Filet,
there you go.
10 ounce, 16 ounce.
Porterhouse.
Fine. They'll begin the drive with Howard. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. So the offense has it 1st and 10. They pitch out to Howard. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. 5 yards there, and remember, Howard last year, 5.2 yards per rush, so right around his average. The only Bears running back that's averaged that many yards per carry in a single season, Walter Payton.
And if Jordan Howard can keep up that type of pace, the city of Chicago will surely embrace him.
And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves them with a 3rd and 3.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. And he's going to take this one up only to about the 44-yard line. And now we're going to get a timeout called by the Redskin defense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. He gets this away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. And this will be out of bounds at the what here? The 12-yard line. The Redskins offense now, they get set to take over here. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. And he'll get this one up to about his 14. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to 3rd down. Cousins to throw it. He's going to let it fly. Oh, he almost intercepted it. They're just forcing it into too many tough spots. That was almost a 4th pick of the game. And now 4th down. Here's Tressway now as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. And the punt goes out of bounds. Where will they put it? They'll put it just inside the 45-yard line. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. They have the dream scenario you hope for coming into the game. Just one kneel here, and this game should be over.
And it's always the final play of preparation each week. The practicing of the kneel-down formation, the victory formation. We've got a game in hand, and that's all they're going to want to do now. They'll put someone back deep just in case something goes haywire. But all in all, take the snap, kneel down, and shake hands. Yes, get out of there.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.